America would rather have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero than ordering Drano. Come on, bruh. Come on. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Gameranx. Should you buy Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? Psst, the answer is yes. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Anything Dragon Ball with facts. Enjoy the video. Ciao.
So today we're changing that. We're talking about 10 things you need to know about the game before it releases. Starting off at number 10, you got to know that the Budokai Tenkaichi gameplay is back.
Wrong. Not Budokai Tenkaichi, it's Sparking.
The Tenkaichi game PS2 were awesome. Everyone has their favorite, but for us, Tenkaichi 3, with its massive roster and deep well of game modes, just made it awesome. These games in general didn't have the most in-depth and complex combat systems, but what they did have was like a fighting system that actually made it feel like you were in a battle from Dragon Ball, flying all over the place, shooting blast, destroying the environment. These games captured the essence of the power of Dragon Ball in a way that like a traditional tournament fighter really couldn't. So if you're unaware, the Budokai Tenkaichi series, which isn't actually related to the Budokai series in any way, it was just Atari's way of piggybacking on that game's popularity at the time. In Japan, these games were called Dragon Ball Z Sparking, and that's why this new game is called Sparking Zero. It's reverting the series back to its original Japanese game, which is good because Budokai Tenkaichi is a lot. These games have more in combat with arena fighters, if you're at all familiar with those. You've got a third-person, over-the-shoulder camera and full 360-degree movement. Combat mechanics are more streamlined, so everyone has the same inputs for the most part, but they all have unique abilities and mechanics. Fidelity to the source material is emphasized over game balance sometimes. The most powerful guys in the series are going to be tougher and do more damage than the weaker characters. This isn't like Fighters, where there's some attempt at like making the fighter roster balanced.
When Sparking Zero comes out and you get on rank and you lose to Kui and you lose to Frieza Soldier and you lose to Hercule, you should understand why. Don't get on the internet complaining. I don't want to hear. If I see you complaining about a character you got beat by in the first week of rank, complaining in the sense that they're unfair. If I see you out there on the timeline complaining, I'll make a video about you. What Kendrick say? Stop playing for my thing, turn to your song.
Stop playing with me for a turn to a song.
In some way, like earlier versions of Goku are much weaker than Super Saiyan God Goku. Dr. Wheelo is gonna have a bad time against Majin Buu. You get the idea.
Maybe.
In some ways, the gameplay
I'm gonna make the most broken Dr. Wheelo build y'all ever seen.
Feels
Y'all gonna see.
Closer to a sport.
Dr. Wheelo, Gohan, maybe Dispo. Those are my three. Those are gonna be my three mains. Dr. Willow is going to cook somebody. Watch.
Combat game because it's more about mechanics than a traditional fighter. It's just way more flashy than any sports game. There are so many abilities and systems in this series that's just there because it's cool and it's fun. Like how characters can transform and power up or unleash literally world-destroying attacks that completely change the environment. Everything these games do is to be fun, accessible, and cool as hell. They're games that take some time adjusting to get used to because even if they're close to arena fighters in style, they still play very differently from most of those games. But once you get the flow down, there's nothing else quite like them. The old games were so much fun. The next gen ones, not as much, but from everything we've seen of this new entry.
All right, we ain't gonna disrespect Xenoverse though. Let's definitely be honest here. When Xenoverse came out, we thought it was the best shit ever. I'm saying it because I was there. Now, after it came out and we realized what the game, we got more time with it. It got to sit on our hands. It didn't age better. So, see to it that I try that game. Maybe like when I take a break from Sparking Zero.
It looks like it's sticking closer to those
Zan?
classic older games, while making a few appreciated changes that should hopefully make the combat more fun and dynamic. Now at number 9, the roster. If you're a Dragon Ball head, this is the stuff you want to hear. Tenkaichi 3 has an absurd roster of over 150 fighters, but this game is going to easily top it with a starting lineup of 182 fighters total, counting the pre-order bonus character, but not counting the.
I really wonder, like, what characters are we going to have to unlock? Like, what's going to be the exact? You said you watched it earlier. Yeah, Gameranx know what they be talking about sometimes. I'm assuming it could be 11. But I'm gonna say I'll go middle ground and say it's gonna be like 13, 14 episodes of Daima. But like the superhero DLC, that should be here like probably like next month or something, or like at least
Planned
it's
DLC
just interesting because it comes so like Daima the anime is coming out 2 days, and so Daima will be going on, and then we'll get superhero DLC to hold us until Daima DLC comes on. We're probably gonna get characters like Gloria and Pansy. I don't know the other people's names. Sparking Zero started here.
Total playable characters in the game to over 200. This lineup draws from the entire history of Dragon Ball, bringing in pretty much everybody of significance from Dragon Ball Z.
Because even though it was a product of its time, it was also comedy and lighthearted versus other martial. Yeah, because that like I felt uneasy watching that. Like I fuck with Violence Jack, but like I was uneasy with Goku. I feel safe and feel like nothing could go wrong, even though everything usually goes wrong.
History of Dragon Ball, bringing in pretty much everybody of significance from Dragon Ball Z, including all their various forms. You can't have a Dragon Ball game without a gobsmacking amount of Gokus, and this game does not disappoint.
That's true.
If
we left certain Gokus out of the game, people would rage. I think the only other character it'll be like that will probably be like Vegeta and Gohan. But because like he kind of has to, he has a bunch of different ones. If we leave certain Gokus out the game, people will be pissed. I think he knows that. 17 Gokus. 17 is crazy, but I look at it as one Goku early, Goku mid, Goku end, Goku super. I only see 4 different Gokus. Like that's me because like you're gonna be interchanging between transformations already. So it's like you're only picking between 4 different characters. They just fluffing it out, They that's marketing, They gotta make it look good.
Count is correct. There are 17 different Gokus. That's more Gokus than many fighting games.
Sorry, just not 4. Goku early, Goku mid, Goku end, Goku super, Goku GT, Daima Goku, and Teen Goku. Yeah, okay, 7 Gokus.
Rosters. That's as many as in Street Fighter 2 if you count Akuma, and we're not counting fusions here. Just the guys literally called
okay, and Ultra Instinct. Okay, so bro, not counting these extra forms though. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's 8 Gokus. Damn, that is a lot.
Here, just the guys literally called Goku. Well, not Goku Black. He's like a different character, kind of.
Goku
Anyway,
Black.
Okay. So what actually counts?
Wait. Why isn't Goku Black a Goku character?
Goku from the original Dragon Ball and bring it full circle with the newest version of Goku with the pre-order DLC, which has Dragon Ball Daima's kid version of the character, which is different.
We need
from
that
Dragon
outfit
Ball
for
GT's.
we need that outfit for Goku Super. They should have like a Goku Daima when he's an adult. Goku Adult Daima, Adult Goku Daima,
kid version. Look, I know this series is confusing. I know I had to brush up on a lot of this stuff, but just stick with me.
Give him
For us, the most exciting thing about this game is the new characters that are showing up. The series originally ended back in 2011, 2 years before Battle of the Gods.
Tenkaichi Tag Team was gas. Go check out that video on my channel.
Whole cast of characters showing up here that never appeared in the previous games. The game's cast primarily goes up through the new Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super, ending with characters from Super Hero.
Dragon Ball not made for kids. No? My got a cut on his cheek. What are you talking about?
The game is going to include a ton of stuff from Dragon Ball GT, which is apparently still canon. It's just considered an alternate universe now that Super has become, quote-unquote, the real follow-up to Dragon Ball Z. Another fun surprise is that every bad guy from the Dragon Ball Z movies are in this as well,
not every bad
both
guy.
The Super and the old versions of Broly. Seems like they got a lot for every different...
I'm finna cut this video off.
And a general lack of original Dragon Ball characters. It's really just Teen Goku and Master Roshi, but with a roster this big and deep, there are acceptable losses, I guess, there.
Yeah, acceptable.
Next over at
losses.
number 8, with more and more
Sorry,
games
not
going
everybody in the
online
world
only
wants
with their
to play as
multiplayer,
Kyle
it's nice to
Pi. I
get
would
some
love
kind
to,
of
though. I
confirmation that
can't
this
wait.
game will have split
When I
screen,
call my
so
wife's
you and your
boyfriend.
friends can play together on a single TV if you
That
want.
shit hurt,
The
didn't it?
in-person experience is perfect for these types of games, especially ones that have a lot of pick up and play appeal, but there's one big problem with the split screen that has to be addressed here.
The
According to the
hyperbolic
developers,
time
while
chamber.
the game does allow you to play together locally on a single screen, you're limited to only one map. The hyperbolic time chamber. You know, the one that's just set in like a big blank white void. It's this training stage of these games. That is weird. That sucks, because half of the fun of these battles is how you can completely destroy everything around you and fly all over the place. Battles can start in one place, completely is weird. That sucks, because half of the
You can
fun of
destroy
these
the
battles
hyperbolic
is how
time chamber,
you can
right?
complete
I understand
canyon
we want
or
more
city.
stages and
The
split
expansive
screen. I
stages
get it.
make this feel like less of a generic fighting game and more like this titanic superhero brawl. You know, the whole reason we talked about why we love this game in the first place and like the first point, the levels and the destructibility are awesome. So it's disappointing to hear that it seems like you can't do any of that playing split screen. This is specific. I know only a small portion of this audience even cares about it.
Yeah,
But
like,
it's something
like,
that
I
was
ain't
special.
tryna-
Hopefully they update it.
I ain't trying to
patch it,
call
and add
you
more
out if you know, want more maps, but like
levels.
they may do with something. Like, this is still impressive. Being able to fight in a hyperbolic time chamber. It's still connected to the Dragon Ball world. It's not like they just threw you in some random white room, some random training room like Street Fighter did. Got online PvP. I mean, I guess like everyone doesn't have internet or good internet, so. But I don't know. I don't know,
but I don't want to be stuck with
I'm
my
talking
friends
just like
playing
him. I
the
don't
most
know.
boring stage. Next at number 7, it's been over a decade since this series bowed out originally.
Not that big
and
of a
at
deal
that
to me.
point, it was becoming pretty obvious that some of its gameplay systems needed some updating. That's what Sparking Zero intends to do. They want to make something that's like the original games, but better. At least that's the plan. And from what we've read, it seems like they're taking games, but better.
Did Goku
At
have
least
a?
that's the
He didn't.
plan.
He didn't
And
have a
from
skill
what
count. He
we've
just
read,
countered.
It seems like they're taking some steps in the right direction. For one thing, movement speed has been dramatically increased across the board.
Oh my God! Look
So,
at Dispo teleports.
movement speed has been dramatically increased.
Ooh! Hey, now he look clean. That's why he going on my team. That's why Dispo's going on my team. He's fast and
steps in the right direction.
problem.
For one thing, movement speed has been dramatically steps in the right direction. For one
look at
thing,
this approach. Dash left, dash but. Bro, who is he shooting the key blast at? Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on, let's slow it down. Left, right. Oh my God. He just went in a full circle around him. He didn't even like dash back left and right. He dashed left and he just kept going left. Trunks like, where you? Oh my God. The screen.
The old dash button is now used for the short dash, a little burst of speed that's just useful for closing distances or avoiding attacks. The other major addition is this new skill counter. As you fight, you earn these points which can be spent to perform special abilities, many which tie into the game's new comeback mechanics. There are 2 abilities that allow for easy
Spirit Bomb Sword Trunks is getting no play.
And skill count.
It looks cool as
There's
hell,
the
though.
revenge
I don't
counter
like
where
it much.
you can attack in the middle of an opponent's turn. You still take damage, but you can interrupt a combo.
How much
you can
damage do you
attack in the
take?
middle of an opponent's turn. You still take damage,
still
but
take
you can
damage.
interrupt a combo string and retaliate with your own. That's nice.
Yeah.
Along with the revenge counter, super perception,
yeah, he
which is
used to.
basically a command counter in a fighting game. You trigger it before an opponent's attack to trigger an automatic counter move that will avoid damage and give you the upper hand. From all the footage we have seen, Sparking Zero looks like a faster paced version of the old games, with all the original mechanics still intact, like the sparking system and the dragon dash and all that stuff that made those games unique and special. We hope those new changes make for an even better game, but right now, considering that we haven't actually played it, we haven't gotten our hands on the game, we can't say how it'll play. We don't know how it'll shake out, but keep your eyes peeled for more videos. Next at number 6, you need to know that there is how it'll shake out, but keep your eyes peeled for more videos. Example given, they show Goku in many states of undress. Can these costumes carry over between different versions of a character? I don't know.
I doubt
and
it.
We're not sure how you
Maybe.
unlock them. All
Maybe
we know
not.
is that they're in the game, so every permutation of a character that appears in the story mode is available to play as.
I want to use
if
Ultra
you
Instinct
want.
Goku with
One
a Yardrat
interesting
outfit.
additional little bit of info that we found on the game's beginner guide on the website, along with full outfits and some little accessories like a halo or a scouter, you can give fighters ability capsules that enhance their stats in some way. This is a holdover from the old games, but we're not sure how it's going to work in this one. They sound like something that could easily be turned into some kind of annoying pay-to-win item sold for real cash.
What? What? All right, look, this is where you start losing me. How you get that from that? How do you get that? Like, how do you come to that conclusion? This was made 4 hours ago. With everything you know about the game, how are you coming to the conclusion that these might be pay-to-win items? Why do you think they would put pay-to-win items in the game?
Pay-to-win item sold for real cash, but so far it seems like this game is committed to the old school style, so hopefully this is just an in-game item that
Don't put
you
that
can
out
only
there.
get as a reward.
Don't put
from
that on
playing the
Dragon
game.
Ball Jacket.
Next, over at number 5, the story mode of Sparking Zero is called Episode Battle, and in it
Yeah.
you play through the defining fights of the Dragon Ball series by playing through a specific character's story.
Yeah.
And for this, there are 8 characters total.
Yeah.
Half are what you'd expect. There's Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo. But the other 4 are a little different, letting you play as Future Trunks, Frieza, Goku Black, and Jiren. Rather than just being a straightforward story mode, these episodes give you choices that affect the outcome of the story.
Yeah,
So when playing as
that's
Goku,
true.
you can decide to go it alone against Raditz, which then changes what happens next. Sometimes these stories can apparently lead to different encounters and send the stories spiraling in different directions.
Yeah.
But sometimes they just lead back to the original path, making a small change but not really affecting things. There are obvious choices you can make between battles, but sometimes things change depending on how you resolve a fight. Like if the character you're playing as wins a battle they're meant to lose, that can change things by quite a lot. There are other more hidden triggers as well, which are even harder to figure out. Because, I mean, at this point, we've all seen the story of Dragon Ball Z play out 100 times already in 100 different
So
video
we want to
games.
do it
So
differently
we
for
appreciate
ourselves.
that this game lets us possibly do some things a little bit different. Also, it's worth noting, it seems like the scenarios are going to be
possibly?
varied in length, you know,
Right.
depending on a character. Like,
What's up with
obviously,
people's
Goku's
verbiage?
around the longest, so his is going to take a while.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card
What does it
debt or
mean,
personal
possibly?
loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief. Minimum payments could.
Now over at number 4, another interesting new mode are these custom battles,
Yeah,
which give you the
these are-
tools
this
to
is
make
probably
your
my
own
favorite.
dramatic
Custom battle is probably my favorite. I'm gonna need y'all help, y'all. Like I'm going to need y'all help. Like in order for this channel to unlock its potential, I'm going to need the ideas of all your custom battle ideas. If you don't feel like you want to make them in the game and you want someone to make them, send me the most random thing one of your favorite characters will do. I'll try to make a story out of it. We're going to make the craziest custom battles. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to have time. Trust.
Dragon Ball throwdowns. It reminds me of the story editor from those old WWE games. You can kind of piece together and edit cutscenes for pre and post battles and special events and conditions that need to be triggered during the fight.
Wait, what did you
add
say?
pre and post editor from those old WWE games. You can kind of piece together and edit
Interesting.
cutscenes for pre and post battles and special events and conditions
check that out.
need
I
to be
didn't know,
triggered during the fight. Add music, change the character's appearance.
WWE
There
games did
seems
that.
like there's a pretty decent selection of options here. These scenarios can be shared online, so anyone else can go into this mode and download custom battles from other players, provided they are able to beat the battle themselves
Yeah.
to prove that it's not impossible.
That's the good thing about custom battles. You have to be able to defeat your own battle before you post it. But there could also be some like sneaky way somebody can get a win condition and not tell anybody.
Like a Mario Maker situation. This sounds like a fun idea, and from what they've shown, the event editor allows for some pretty complex rules and scenarios. You're still just building a single battle, and while there are options for subtitles, it looks like you can only use phrases provided by the game. You can't write your own dialogue, which does kind of limit how crazy people can go with this. But still, we're just looking forward to jumping in and seeing what kind of weird stuff people more creative than us can come up with. There's going to be some
I'm not
pre-made
gonna be-
custom
I might
fights
not
you can
even
check out
use
as
them. I
well.
might use my
Apparently,
own,
just really
subtitles.
with the massive roster here, there's so much potential for people to have fun, and we're excited to see what they cook up. Now down at number 3, tournaments have always been a big part of these games, and they're back in Sparking Zero with some twists on the old formula. How they do work remains the same fundamentally. You have a character, you enter a bracket, and try to beat everyone else to become number 1. But there are a few different types of tournaments to pick from.
The no-flying tournaments are going to be
pre-made tournaments like the World Tournament,
so
where
fun.
landing on the ground outside the ring counts as a loss, or the Yamcha games, where anything goes and it's just chaos. The rules change every match. The game also lets you make your own tournament with your own rules, which can be played both online and offline. Now, we've already mentioned the unfortunate state of offline play in the game, but it's at least going to support full online play. There's battle mode, which is just your standard online mode, and ranked mode for more serious hardcore players.
Simple.
If the game will actually draw the attention of
sweat,
serious
go to either
pro
mode.
fighting game players, I don't
That's
know.
what I'm gonna do.
But at least the online options seem all right, if a little basic. Don't expect like complex rollback netcode. The game doesn't have it, probably can't have it, and just because the nature of the gameplay, you know, it's not like a regular fighting game.
How does he know that?
There are too many. Probably can't have it, and just because the nature of the gameplay, you know, it's
get
not
it.
like a regular fighting game. There are too many possible inputs, so rollback doesn't work. At least that's what it seems like, according to speculation online. Now down at number 2, so there's only about 100 fighters available at the start of the game out of the 182 total, which left us wondering, how are you supposed to unlock these guys? Well, it sounds like there's going to be a few ways. According to the developers, some are unlocked by completing episode battles. Some you get from finishing the bonus battles. And others are simply unlocked from the in-game store using Zenny, the currency that's been in these games since the PlayStation 2 days. Zenny isn't just for unlocking new fighters, it's also used for the costumes we mentioned, the accessories, and the ability capsules. That's not the only way you unlock these characters either, though. Depending on the pre-order version you buy,
was that real?
certain characters will automatically unlock these characters either.
Is this real? Goku's... Is this real? Goku no belt super... What do you mean no belt? You got a belt on. Goku no belt super... HP is higher than... What the hell is this?
Either, though. Depending on the pre-order version you buy, certain characters will automatically unlock too. Not everyone, just certain characters. It's questionable stuff like that that has us concerned about how monetized the game will be, but right now there's no word on possible microtransactions. We just hope that whatever they do, it doesn't end up interfering with the experience. It's one of those things that could end up being totally benign and not that bad, or awful and filled with terrible microtransactions. If it's just some DLC characters, fine, whatever, but if they lock lots of characters that are already in the game behind a lot of really tedious grinding that they like intentionally made worse to drive people to buy currency, then that's not cool.
It's not even like we're not even thinking about that. We're not even thinking about, oh, what if we gotta grind too hard for a character? We don't give a